A dance troupe from South Africa was performed at the Avenues Mall, which is part of the culture activities ahead of the Africa-Arab Summit. A number of cultural activities, mainly dance troupes, have been delighting customers at malls across Kuwait with their traditional and colorful performances. The cultural activities taking place have been organized by the Kuwait National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters. More on this with our correspondent Ghonwa Jabouri.
Traditional dance and song contribute a great deal to a country's image and to a certain extent can tell a lot about a nation's culture and history. Traditional song and dance can in fact be a very powerful element that communicates deep messages to their society or any other given society. Because dance and song are peaceful, artistic, creative, entertaining, enlightening, though very influential. Today's performance, for example, by the South African dance troupe carried in it potent messages that tells of the many intriguing stories by the South African society.
Well, our performance tonight mainly it was about our cultures that we have in South Africa. We've got 9 cultures in South Africa and 11 official languages. And tonight we performed some of those cultures, which it was Sotho. Sotho is some of the cultures that we speak. It's called South Sotho and Pedi. We've got Pedis as well, which relates more with Ndebelers and the vendors. And then we've also got our very famous culture, which is Zulu, which is the last one that we were wearing sheepskins and which is very full of warriorship and fight because of the Zulu people. They dominate from the heavens.
The traditional dance troupe performance is part of a sequence of pre-summit functions that are taking place ahead of the November 1920 summit on the cultural and economic domains. The traditional dance troupes have been delighting the audiences who have expressed great joy of having the opportunity of witnessing such beautiful traditional artistry.
It's a wonderful performance. It's really a bunch of young people from South Africa that came here to Kuwait, and they have rocked Kuwait. They brought the South African culture right here onto the doorstep of the Kuwaitis in Avenues Mall. And they've basically also reflected our country's history, starting with our colonial history and also singing the praise of our democratic transition and all the challenges we face as a nation, socially, politically and economically. It's a very important summit. The African-Arab connection has been there for many centuries. And it's about time that we share our values and that we cooperate in terms of not just economic aspects, but also cultural aspects.
Our culture, there's Zulu, there's Swana, there's Pedi, and there's campus dancing. Campus dancing is where they communicate in the minds. Sometimes they communicate by doing their dance, campus dance. I would say African, Ubuntu, humanity. It's umuntu ngabantu. So it shows amalgamation, being united as a nation as we are in our culture.
The South African troupe tonight performed dances that represents their culture. In fact, South African dance is known to be deeply ingrained in African culture, and today's performance certainly brought much joy to the crowds due to the resonating passion of the performers. South African song and dance is known to be expressive, colourful and energetic, and tells a story of their intriguing history and culture. Tonight's performance certainly succeeded at transporting the audiences to the amazing cultures of South Africa. From the Avenues Mall, this is Ghonwa Jabouri reporting to you for the English News.